Welcome to KiniNews. I'm your host, Camelia. Pakatan Harapan has set a condition for Prime Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob if he wants to discuss an extension to the memorandum of understanding with the opposition pact.
DAP Secretary General Anthony Loke said Pakatan Harapan is open to discussing an extension to the memorandum of understanding with the federal government after it expires on July 31st. In a press conference today, he said, however, the premise is that the anti-hopping law must be passed first before there is room for discussions. Previously, UMNO had decided that the MOU would not be extended any further after its deadline this July. The MOU was signed between Prime Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob and Harapan leaders on September 13, 2021 to restore political stability. This came after another change in government in August of that year. Among others, the MOU included a conditional promise by Harapan to not oust Ismail Sabri or block Budget 2022. Under the MOU, the government had promised not to dissolve Parliament until at least July 31, 2022, in order to have enough time to implement various reforms sought by Harapan in exchange for the opposition not obstructing key government agendas. Meanwhile, when asked on Bangi MP Ong Kiang Ming's announcement to not contest in the 15th general election, Loke said that Ong had discussed the decision with him in March before the DAP Central Executive Committee election. He added that Ong announced his decision earlier today so that the party has sufficient time to arrange for a new candidate for the Bangi parliamentary seat.
While we're on the topic of Ong Kiang Ming's announcement, one of the reasons he provided today was that it was now time for the younger generation in the party to take over the reins of leadership.
DAP's Bangi MP Ong Kiang Ming has announced that he will not offer himself as a candidate for the 15th general election. He said, while the recent DAP Central Election Committee election, where he failed to win a seat, did play a role, it was not the main reason for his decision. Ong said one of the reasons was that he had already thought of serving for 2 terms.
Saya memang berhasrat untuk memikul tanggungjawab sebagai ahli parlimen untuk 2 penggal dan itu adalah persefahaman saya bersama isteri. Dan selepas 2 penggal ni, persamaan kami ialah untuk menilai semula sama ada saya nak meneruskan tanggungjawab ini atau tidak.
Coming to the end of his 2nd term, Ong said he believed that he had served his constituency, party, and the country to the best of his abilities. He added that it is now time for the younger generation in the party to take over the reins of leadership. Ong also expressed full confidence in the leadership of Anthony Loke as DAP's new Secretary General and urged all members and leaders of the party to show their full support for Loke. He also thanked volunteers, party members, and voters for placing their trust in him. Ong was first elected as Serdang MP in 2013, before switching over to represent Bangi in 2018. He served as the Deputy International Trade and Industry Minister in the Pakatan Harapan administration until its collapse in February 2020.
Former Attorney General Apandi Ali said Dr. Mahathir Mohamad was merely seeking attention by raising the issue of his wrongful termination lawsuit statement. This is despite having named Mahathir as a party in his suit.
Former Attorney General Muhammad Apandi Ali has dismissed former Prime Minister Dr. Mahathir Mohamad's remarks over the wrongful dismissal suit between him and the government. Apandi said the suit had been settled out of court and Mahathir had no right to agree or disagree on the settlement. Utusan Malaysia quoted him as saying that the one who represents the government is the Attorney General, and if the AG says so, we have to comply. Mahathir has no right to question it. Apandi also questioned why Mahathir was raising the issue on the settlement now. He said that Mahathir was merely seeking attention by raising the issue when the out-of-court settlement was arrived at 3 weeks ago. He added that it is normal for the terms of the settlement to be kept confidential between the parties. Last Friday, Mahathir had insisted he made the right decision in terminating Apandi's service as the Attorney General in June 2018, and that it was done according to the procedure. He also demanded the terms of the settlement between the government and Apandi to be disclosed. Apandi had filed a suit against Mahathir and the government on October 13, 2020, over his alleged unlawful termination as Attorney General during the Pakatan Harapan administration in 2018. The Kuala Lumpur High Court struck out the suit last month after the government agreed to settle the case without any admission of liability, and the terms of the settlement could not be disclosed publicly.
PAS Deputy President Tuan Ibrahim Tuan Man said that the unification of the Malay Muslim community is of greater importance than the political alliances going into the next general election. PAS Deputy President Tuan Ibrahim Tuan Man has responded to UMNO President Ahmad Zahid Hamidi on his remarks that cooperation between UMNO and PAS through muafakat has to be set aside during the 15th general election. Tuan Ibrahim said that his party is of the view that the unification of the Malay Muslim community is of greater importance than the political alliances going into the next general election. He said while UMNO and PAS were now in different coalitions, the parties saw the need for unification within the framework signed through the Muafakat National Charter. He told Berita Harian that when the charter was signed, PAS and UMNO felt there was a threat to the future of Malay Muslims and had gathered against it. He added it is good to read and reappreciate what had been agreed on again. Tuan Ibrahim said that in the context of party politics, each party could do what it thinks is appropriate for its party, and this varies from one state to another. He pointed out how Selangor Perak appears to be taking a different attitude from Zahid. He said currently PAS is part of the Pakatan National Coalition, but will also continue with the agenda of urging the unification of the Ummah to continue. In his comments on the issue yesterday, Zahid had said the cooperation should be set aside as UMNO had already given enough space to PAS to agree on the matters contained in the Muafakat Charter, but it had never materialized. Zahid had also been urged to release an official statement declaring the end of the pact by the UMNO Veterans Club. While Zahid seems to have already made his view clear on working with PAS in GE15, UMNO veterans have called on him to make the stand official.
The UMNO Veterans Club has called for the Muafakat National Pact to be disbanded to avoid it being ridiculed and politicized. In a statement, its secretary, Mustafa Yaakob, urged UMNO President Ahmad Zahid Hamidi to release an official statement declaring the end of Muafakat. He said PAS, which had left UMNO and Muafakat by choosing to be with Bersatu in Pakatan National, still places their hope and constantly brings up the pact. He added that PAS Secretary General Taqiyuddin Hassan's latest statement clearly shows that the party is mocking Muafakat. Previously, Taqiyuddin had said that the unification of Muslims through Muafakat, initiated by PAS and UMNO, was the best formula. Taqiyuddin has said that PAS is still urging for this unity among all parties, especially the Malay Muslim, Bumiputra, and non-Malay parties that are not extreme, as mentioned by PAS President Abdul Hadi Awang. However, Zahid has stressed that the cooperation between the two parties through Muafakat will be set aside during the 15th general election. Zahid has said that UMNO had given space to PAS to agree on matters in the Muafakat Charter several times, but did not manage to reach a consensus.
The federal court has announced the date for Najib Abdul Razak's final appeal against his sentence and conviction involving the SRC international case.
The federal court has fixed 10 days in August to hear Najib Abdul Razak's final bid against his conviction and jail sentence for misappropriation of 42 million ringgit of SRC International Sendirian Berhad funds. According to a letter signed by the Apex Court Deputy Registrar, the dates were from August 15th to 19 and August 22 to 26. The defense and prosecution were also instructed to file their written submissions by July 31st. Najib was found guilty and sentenced to 12 years in jail and a 210 million ringgit fine by the High Court in July 2020. The former finance minister's conviction and punishment were upheld by the Court of Appeal in December last year. He had then submitted 94 grounds in his petition of appeal to the court last month. Among the grounds was that the Kuala Lumpur High Court and Court of Appeal had used their own logic and rationale in contravention of evidence that exonerated the former premier from the 7 counts of abuse of power, criminal breach of trust, and money laundering. The federal court would be the final avenue for Najib to appeal against his sentence and conviction involving the SRC International case.
Ayer Keroh Assemblyperson Kurt Chi Yee has renewed his call for all 20 BN Assemblypersons in Melaka to prove that they are still loyal to Chief Minister Sulaiman Muhammad Ali. This came amidst claims that Sulaiman was being forced to resign. All 20 BN Assemblypersons in Melaka have been urged to prove that there has been no effort to oust Melaka Chief Minister Sulaiman Muhammad Ali. The call came from Ayer Keroh Assemblyperson Kirk Chi Yi. This came amid speculation that Sulaiman was being forced to resign, a claim Melaka UMNO has denied. In a statement today, Kirk said when similar claims emerged 2 months ago, he had asked all 20 BN representatives to dispel the claim by pledging their support for Sulaiman. However, he said BN had branded it as cheap politics. Kirk added that Melaka should not see another round of political instability after last year's snap polls. Yesterday, acting Alur Gajah UMNO Chief Rospandi Leman alleged that there were attempts to coerce Sulaiman into resigning. Melaka UMNO Deputy Liaison Chairperson Muhammad Ali Muhammad had denied the claims, saying they were baseless. He said Sulaiman will continue to hold the post of Melaka Chief Minister until the end of his term as had been agreed. And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you'd like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to MalaysiaKini.com. I'm Camelia. Thanks for watching.